Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more juicy content from me. Welcome to another client success interview. I am here with Mrs. Toyin Arowolo, one of my amazing clients. She is an entrepreneur and she is a tech whiz, as well as I call her a giant in the tech industry in Nigeria, but she doesn't call herself a giant because she's humble like that. But anyway, So Ms. Toyin, I'm very glad that you decided to do this interview with me today, and thank you for coming on. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and just do your best to answer them, and tell other people, basically telling other people what it was like to work with me. So, okay. Before you decided to hire me, what was going on?
Okay, first of all, thank you for letting me do this. I'm excited. And yes, I am learning to be like my coach. I'm a tech giant in Nigeria, actually, and Africa by extension. Yes. Okay, I remember reading a Facebook post of yours one day, and I just thought, I need this in my life. I'm in Lagos, I was a mosquito passing. I need to be more confident. I have so much, but I didn't believe I was showcasing myself enough, and not so much, I wasn't looking to hype myself or anything, but I knew that I had more to give. And I knew that I was limited by, several beliefs, things going on around me, inside of me. And just following you, I had told myself, look, I'm going to get you to coach me one day, because I need the confidence you're exuding. And yes, so for me, it was confidence to show up with my entire self at work, confidence to show up who I really am. So it's funny because quite a number of people in the last couple of days, I've heard it so much. In fact, I went somewhere to speak today, and my friend who was introducing me, she had gotten me to speak to these young men and women, and she was like, don't underestimate her. She has, her voice is calm and quiet, not like mine. She has a pretty big voice, but that you need to listen carefully, because she's going to be dropping quite a bit of stuff. And over I've heard that so many times. It's almost like, look, I'm a small package, and you look at me and you overlook me, but I knew, and I know that I have quite a lot to give. Yes, so that was it. I didn't want to hide the gifts I have, gifts God has given me. I knew that it was time to express myself. And yes, I'd had several people tell me, look, you have so much, to give, and you need to start pouring it out. So yes, I was looking for that boost of confidence to do so. And that's why I decided one day to send you a DM and say, yes, I'm ready now to be coached, even though you had no idea I had been watching or following you
I did not know
for a bit. Yes, that's it.
Wow. Some of this I'm just hearing. So, hey, it's taking me a while to digest it too. But my next question to you is, now that you saw me from afar, now that we've been working together for a bit, how has it been working with me? What would you say that you've achieved since you started working with me?
Okay. It has been I was going to look for one word, but I don't think one word will suffice. Yes, let me give you one word. It's called excavation. And that is what has happened with me. So I started out.
Can you repeat that word again?
I said excavation. So excavate. And that's how I feel.
Yes.
So I started out saying, I knew I had so much, but the truth of the matter is I didn't even realize half of what I had, in terms of things I needed to get rid of, but also in terms of things I needed to unearth. And each of the sessions we've had, leaves me with, I'm going to say something else that would shock you, but leaves me with so much to think about, so much to ponder on, so much to change. So we haven't had a session for a while, because usually what I realize now is once I go through a very unearthing session, a session where so much has been excavated, it's almost like I need to first of all recover, well, not recover and go back, but recover and say, okay, before my next session with Coach Shola, I'm going to have to do a number of things. And I think a lot. So there's a lot of process, a lot of thinking, a lot of agreeing and accepting. So one of the things that has really been helpful, is the fact that even if I had a prior thought about myself or about a situation, hearing you say it, makes it come alive. And everywhere I go, it's almost like a neon sign. I have it shining. So before I could pretend to ignore that I was this or I was that. After my sessions with you, I'm like, everywhere I turn, it's almost like, oh, there's an alarm going off in every corner, and I really cannot pretend any longer. You wouldn't get until you get until you get to be coached by Coach Shola. One beautiful thing have also been the recommendations. So yes, I get a lot of her thoughts, but thoughts and ideas and wisdom are formed by experiences, formed by books you've read, and that's something that has come through, quite a bit, and you being very open to share and say, look, yes, I'm one source, but here are other sources. I think this would help you. I think this would help you. And, I've had amazing book recommendations, and there's some of them I'm still on chapter 5 because I'm slowly plowing through them. I said excavation. There's just so much going on. So, I'm definitely not the Toyin that started with you. I'm sure you know that. I know that I still have a couple more sessions to go, and I know that even like in between each session, there's change happening. There's change happening. There are times when I guess you would say I'm a very quiet client. I'm not in your DM like that. But honestly, in between the sessions, there's a lot of thinking going on. There's a lot of processing going on. There's a lot of change happening. And yes, a lot of excavation. So I've gone to the roots of of a lot of my foundations, in terms of the things I'm doing, why I have done the things I've done, a lot of light bulb moments, in the sessions, and then just being seen. So I started out saying, I needed confidence to do ABC. I've left some sessions and I've wondered, okay, what exactly does this woman see in me? But I feel seen. I feel, you get me, you've gotten me, you understand the situation and you dig in. Not in a very, all excavation can be painful. Excavation you're not sitting pretty while it's going on. But at the end of the day, I've uprooted, several trees and several plants, and I'm examining the roots and saying, okay, why did you form? What exactly are you doing? And yes, I don't want to sound like a project, but yes, putting myself back together, I am then, more solidly built. So I don't know if I'm answering, I'm answering more than, right now I have, I started out saying I wanted to be confident.
Yes.
Because of the excavation, because I've been able to drill down for a number of things, to why exactly I have acted the way I acted in the past, and why exactly I should act this way going forward, or why exactly things have happened. I then have, what I've found is a lot more confidence. I'm more open to opportunity. I'm more open to speaking engagements. I'm more open to just being myself and being confident in the things. So I've been doing quite a number of things, but I'm now doing them more confidently than I used to. Okay, so if I just give a little example, I work, before now I've just been, when you're buried and you're under a whole load of work. So the excavation has even gotten to the point where I've been able to lift up my head and say, come. You guys, can I speak Yoruba? You will not kill me, I need to do this and this and this and this. I'm no more the timid person that will just accept all jobs. But I'm going to say, look, hello, stop there. Why is this coming? Why do you need it now? That kind of thing. So yes, it's been total excavation, and I like it because a palace is coming up where where there just used to be one-story building.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so, so happy to hear this. I need to recover from all the things you said. But my final question to you is this. What would make you recommend me to someone else? Because I'm guessing, if I ask the question, will you recommend me to someone else? The answer is yes. So what will make you recommend me to somebody else?
So I'm thinking of women like myself who are, people look at you and say, you have so much going on. As you have it together. Mm-hmm. And almost deep down within, you're like, you almost feel like a fraud walking around, if you're that kind of person. You need Coach Shola to speak to you and help you understand why. So I'm trying to say the right things, but honestly, to help you pull apart all the pieces that make you up, and then shine lights on those areas and help you understand why, the why of many things. One of the things you will find, because the truth of the matter is, we're human beings, and as much as we say, don't compare, you've been comparing yourself a lot to other people. But you need to ditch that, and you need to shine the light on you, and then, sort of understand your why, and then start acting it out. I know that what I'm saying might be a bit hazy, so I'm actually looking for a very good example. But for a woman who needs more than a boost of confidence, for a woman who needs to leave, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, to walk on the road of I'm this confidently, asserting who you are, confidently moving in the direction of your dreams, confidently accepting the gifts God has placed on the inside of you. Mm-hmm. If you need affirmation, if you need help, and it's not just in one area, career, your relationships, whatever it is there, whether family, whether spouse, whether siblings, things that have to do with your childhood, going back there and saying, okay, why did this happen? And, sort of painting a thread right to your present so that you understand why you are acting the way you are acting. And then answering, so that there are loads of questions I've had that have been answered in her sessions. And I see that a lot. A lot of us have questions and we don't know who to ask. I have, and I'm sure that many women like me that you've had 1,000 questions. And you just find that you are in a session and those questions you've had for 3, 4, 5 years, are being answered. And all of a sudden is what's called a light bulb moment. It comes on. But what all that does for you is you leave the sessions empowered. You leave the sessions confident. You leave the sessions knowing that you not only can you achieve, you then go out and achieve. I'm still working with her. So our sessions aren't done yet. But honestly, like I said, I think the first question, I'm not the same person that started. I'm definitely, it's a no-brainer. So if you need somebody it's not holding your hand like that, but let me use that word, holding your hand, because you're going to do the work. But if you need somebody to hold your hand and lead you to their dreams that are placed on the inside of you, and I'm sure you have big, lofty, high dreams. Let me paint a picture of a typical person Coach Shola would help. And this in no way limits who you reach out to. This is just my own picture of a target client for you. So you grew up in Africa. You grew up in a family that, yes, said, women could do anything and everything, or maybe not. You got married to a typical African. So you have culture to contend with, and you are perhaps working in, I know that you work with quite a number of people in the States, but people in Africa who you go to work and you are supposed to lead a man and the man is saying, I have your type at home, and you hear that time and time again, and somehow your confidence is eroded. So even though you had a family that hyped you and all that, life has shown you small, so you need that boost of confidence to get back on the road that, where your dreams were high and lofty, where your dreams were, solid visions you had, beautiful things you had that called out to you, and that you know that there's something more than, just it's lovely being a wife and mother. I'm both, but there's a lot more to you than just the package that you see. Oh, you're in your lovely home, surrounded by your lovely kids, surrounded by a loving husband, you're comfortable, but there's more, and there's much more to life. So yes, I hope I've answered the question. I talk a lot.
Oh, that's fine. It's good to talk a lot.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, every woman needs you. Every woman, and there are quite a number of, and I'm talking external words. There are quite a number of people who don't even know. I, for one, had no idea. So even though I had started out saying, I'm going to have you coach me one day and all, I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I'm glad I took that step. I'm glad I sent that email, or was it, DM message, and said, yes, I need to be coached by you. And I'm glad that after our first call, I remember our first call, and then there were some missed emails, and I was like, no, I changed my mind, as in, this was a wrong miscommunication on a date or something. I'm really glad I took those steps. It's been well worth it.
Thank you so much. I'm very glad that you did this interview. I have many clients, most of whom don't want to show their face to other people and let people know. So I appreciate the fact that you've done this. Thank you very much.
Happy to have done it.
And I will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Please share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you can know whenever we send out any new videos.